Welcome back, Nerdiverse, to another episode of Love Songs on the Coast in Coast 103, Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, where we always have such sights to show you. I'm, of course, Master of the Nerdiverse, Karen Sharp, and with me, as always, is the Master of the Nerdiverse, the Jedi Counselor himself, Ted Ziegenbush. What's going on, Ted?
Um, Welcome. I'm glad to be here on this episode of MOTN Talks this evening, and I hope that we are broadcasting well over the radio waves on this Friday night. I'm hoping that everybody's having a good evening and they had a nice, pleasant dinner with their families, and we shall get into some discussions, I would think, at depth and length about the perspectives of things in the Nerdiverse.
Man, that is the most succinct and clear response I've ever received from anyone ever. That was pretty impressive right there.
What
Mr.
up?
Wash. What up? We're Masters of the Nerdiverse. We're back. We're black. And we handle things very specifically. Very
I would say
specifically.
I would say all those things are true.
All those things happen to be
I
true.
would I would say all those things are true. Did you ever consider doing a little radio? I know I did. And when I'm
Yeah.
saying talking about radio, I'm talking two different types of radio because we grew up in an era where there was a radio station. You could call in, you could get a song requested and speak to your local DJ like a normal human, right? I
Hmm.
I want to hear whatever for my girl. Like, oh, okay, we'll get that played in about 30 minutes. All right, son. Hey. Then you hop on the phone with your girl. You're like, hey, what up?
Hey, babe.
And
Put
yeah,
on the
so
radio. Hey, babe.
right. This one goes out too. So there's that radio, but the second radio I'm talking about is your own personal radio station. They did that in the early 2000s. It's still a thing. I know you can get your own radio station, play your own type of tunes, and have your own shows. I mean, you do have a podcast, but I know you are a musician at heart. You have a music's heart. So, you ever consider that?
Both, man. It's funny you mentioned that. Because one, when I was a kid, I was a bit sappy and love drunk and all that high school stuff. So I call out to this episode 103 Coast 103.5, where you would call Ted Ziegenbush and you would call Karen Sharp and ask to you know, dedicate this song to your girl, and you guys are going through a rough time, but Celine Dion will heal all wounds. So I always thought that was cool. I wanted to do that. I wanted to get into radio, just one of those things that just could never get around to. I tried to join that when I was in college. I tried to do the college radio station and
Yeah.
got beat out. It is what it is. But I also wanted to do like a pirate radio station, like you said back in the day. One of my favorite movies. You ever seen The Fog?
The
By
fog,
It was a horror movie
no.
with by John
Like,
Carpenter
oh
with
yeah, that fog, yeah, yes, I've
yeah.
seen that. Yeah,
And one of my favorite characters is Adrienne Barbeau, and she is the local DJ in the lighthouse where they're on Antonio Bay. And so she's like, "Welcome back there, Baytonians, and we're gonna have a smooth night. Watch out for that fog that rolls in. There be pirates, are." And I was like, "Oh, that's a cool job, Like, I want a pirate radio station that I run, and no one's listening, and I don't care. It's just I'm just out there
right,
speaking my truth. You know what I mean?
right. You
So
know,
I'm down for both, bro. This is the
yeah,
closest thing we can get to that.
yeah, but I do know they exist. I do know you can go get one. I don't, it's not as popular of a thing as it used to be because of podcast. You know, I think X's little community thing, I think that's dead where people like talk. I used to get notifications for that. So I think people are sticking with the podcast for the time being. But yeah, the radio used to be big stuff. Used to be able to hear
Man,
things about shows on the radio too.
yes.
Speaking of which.
Speaking of which, we have a show here tonight called the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast. You ready to jump into this episode, my good sir?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Perfect. Before we roll on into our episode, I'm just going to really quickly ask everyone to like our content. If you find it interesting, to subscribe to the channel. If you would like more knowledge, because knowledge is power, and comment. Let us know what you think. Are these episodes good? Are they great? I think they're great, but they just may be good. You'll decide. Tonight is Masters of the Nerdiverse episode 151. It's hip to be a troll. It's hip to be a troll. Troll. It's hip to be, you know what I'm talking about? It's hip to,
No,
it's hip to be a square. No? Okay.
no, there you're talking about from like the Troll movie, which I'm assuming you saw because some random, you just strike me as you watched that one afternoon Saturday when you were like doing something. You're like, you are fine. I'll watch this. Was it
Um,
good?
to clear up things, yes, Troll 2 is bad and amazing. Because yeah, I got
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the animated trolls.
oh, you mean like the with the hair and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, yeah, with the hair.
Not yet. I think once I have children, I'll be
Okay,
contractually obligated to watch
okay,
movies like that. But
okay.
until then, we'll only watch goofy animated movies for MOTN reviews when we bend our arms backwards and force ourselves to digest content. You know what I mean? That we end up loving for some reason every single time we
Yeah,
end up
bro.
loving it.
Trolls 3 is fantastic. We're
Troll
going.
3 is crazy. You watch you're gonna watch Zootopia 2, and it's gonna be wild, bro.
Actually,
Uh
that does look pretty good. So, oh,
Zootopia, you know, no shade. Zootopia 1 is pretty good, man.
I didn't
I'm
see
not
it.
gonna kick it out the bed. It's pretty good. Tonight we have 4 topics that are part of the major topic lineup of Masters of the Nerdiverse. And as always, I would like to ask Wash before we start things out of these 4 topics, which one do you find most interesting? One is the Dragon Ball Age 1000 trailer. The second is the updated Super Mario trailer, Super Mario Galaxy trailer, sequel to the film that we gave pretty much a 10 out of 10, which is kind of crazy. Um, Going over the life, the laughter. Rest in peace, Catherine O'Hara. That's fresh news. That just happened today. So, and lastly, we got a Ghost in the Shell remake, which is big news for me. I'm curious to see of these 4 topics, which one do you find the most interesting?
Super Mario, but that Dragon Ball trailer was pretty dope. How they did all that. I'm not gonna lie, that looked pretty cool. But we'll get there. There's something missing that I thought for sure would be here, and I haven't seen the final rundown, but it wasn't in my notes rundown. So I'm just gonna
Yeah,
bring up: is there anything about DD here? A DD trailer that came out this
you know
week?
what? Let's talk about it before we jump into all things. So, just for transparency, if you see something you want on the list, just add it because I can't. You know what I'm
I
saying?
wasn't, you know what I mean?
Just
I
add
like,
it,
I don't, I,
and I'll be more than happy to be like, you know what, that can
I
take a
will just
spot.
bring it up right now and just
Yeah.
go because I don't have much to say. It was trash.
Wow.
It,
Talk about it.
it was
Talk.
trash,
No, he's
dude.
talking about the
Like,
Daredevil Born Again
yes,
season 2 trailer.
yes, yes.
Talk about it.
It
Speak your
was
truth.
it was
How was
hot
that the?
trash, bro.
All right,
I
tell me
looked
about it.
I watched it and I went, all right, I made through what, like 3, 4 episodes. It's season 1, and I was like, I told you, I'm like, I'm out. We're done with that. I'm
Mhm.
done. I'm done, right? Season 2 trailer, we still kind of know what's going on. It starts, and it's like, all right, great. So I haven't watched this show at all, but from my gathering, and you can tell me if, oh well, it's comic book accurate with what they're going to be doing with Kingpin and the world. But it looks like they pretty much have Matt like in some type of psychosis. He's in his own little like crap ass dream, and batshit insanity happens until Jessica Jones comes in, rescues him. Sure, the Punisher will show up. The music sucked. The trailer was beyond like what I've seen before. Like like it like we reference CW, and we're not I'm not shading CW. CW put out
Yeah,
some
it's
good
good
stuff.
stuff.
CW
Yeah.
also put out some trash, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
CW trash. This kind of looks like CW trash to me. That's it.
Wow.
That's
I
it.
feel you.
That's it.
Man, shots fired, dude. No. Uh it's it's tough, right? Because one, I happen to like that. You're not a fan of Childish Gambino, dog. You're not feeling the Childish Gambino track, bruh. I feel it. It is the I think the way they're making trailers nowadays is pretty trash. You know what I mean? So
We're gonna talk about that. I'm not. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that
yeah,
statement very, very quickly. So go
I
on.
think that ever since they've started to get these songs and put the beat of the song to the action points of the trailer, I that's so burnt out to me now, where it's like, you know, it's like, um, the sound to the beat of the drum, explosion, explosion. You know what I mean? Like it's so overdone. It's so overdone. I can't stand it. And every single trailer does that now. It's just like, can we move on? So
It,
that gets old.
as a fan of Elektra and the Daredevil with Ben Affleck,
Mhm.
two movies that I am a fan of, it literally looked like someone watched those movies and cut the Fuel video. And they're like, you
Yeah.
see these shots from the Fuel video with Daredevil and the action and even the coloring. Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the music and the cuts will be the same. Like I walked out of it like, yeah, you
It's
know,
just I just don't think
whatever.
I
It's
think
trash.
trailers are a lost art, like music videos. We don't have the hype Williamses anymore. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the MG you know, we don't have like the artists, the trailer artisans that used to be back in the day. Things are
Mm,
just kind of slapped together. But what I will say about that trailer, with kind of like Kingpin, I guess, being the victor and him just kind of going through these side quests where I'm Kingpin the baker and I'm Kingpin the boxer and I'm Kingpin the it is a little
side
goofy.
quest. I like
You know,
that.
he's like, you know what I'm saying? He's going through these Shaquille O'Neal level side quests where he's like, I've already won at life. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
do bullshit now. Anything I
yeah,
want.
yeah.
And no one's gonna stop me because I'm King of New York. That's a little goofy, but it's comic booky. So I can't be too mad at it because comic books does stupid stuff like that. I think adding in the Defenders is interesting, from the Netflix series. But bringing the band is getting back together. God knows how many of them are going to show up in season two. Just that, I watched the trailer. I didn't put it on the docket because it really didn't do anything for me in an
Nope.
interesting way. I saw it and I was just like, all right, fine. And I'm a
All
big
right.
fan of the Daredevil series. I love the old Netflix stuff. I love Born Again. I'm with it. I'm hip. But it didn't show me anything so new that I thought it would be a talking point. Is that bad? Like
Nope. Nope.
I just
I would. Nope. It makes perfect sense to me. And now we could move on because that's it. We're good. I was just
fair enough. I
wondering.
get
I,
no, it just yeah, just I saw it. I watched the trailer much like you. I was underwhelmed. I'm just like,
do you know when that comes out? Season two?
not
It's
March, I
soon,
think.
like March. Oh, okay, like
Soon.
soon. Okay,
Soon.
soon-ish. Yeah, yeah. All right. All right.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
there was like a still of the Highlander. I was like, I don't want to talk about the Highlander. That's why. Happened, but just didn't make the cut of the docket because I didn't think it was an interesting. There wasn't enough of it to be a talking point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of talking points, Wash, how was your week?
Good week, man. A solid week. As far as oh no. As far as content wise goes, it was a tad bit slower week, and pardon me
Same
while I
here.
just do some finagling. 1 second.
Let
Uh,
me clear my throat. Cough, cough. Let me clear my
so
throat.
yes. So what we had going on this week? Oh, I'm assuming perhaps you're going to talk about it, and I don't know, but maybe you can give me a little context because I did want to get in there, and
Mhm.
my first impressions are what they will be, but maybe context will help for the next episodes. Wonder Man. I got in there.
Okay.
I watched
Did
the
you watch
first
all of it?
episode. No,
Oh, okay.
no, no, we did not have time for all of that. We
Okay.
watched one episode.
Okay.
And so the first episode, just for all of you who may be listening now or in the future, who want to be an actor in Los Angeles, that is the experience. He went through it. It literally started giving me weird anxiety at the beginning because
Ah.
dude, like weird, like the entire thing, the entire like first 10 to 15 minutes was just like this weird, like, you know what? I remember all of this, and it doesn't. It was fine. It's fun. It's an adventure. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't leave me feeling like, I feel great now. I'm like, ugh,
Mm.
I'm weirdly stressed out. But moving on, that was fine. But I got through the episode. I mean, I don't know if I care. So that's how come I'm
Mm,
coming to you going, hey man, give me a little bit of context on Wonder Man. We're 10 years after, sounds like Iron Man 2 for some
3.
reason,
Yeah.
Iron Man 3. So we've done a long time jump back. Long time jump
No,
back.
this is in
So,
present. It takes place in present day. All that's already happened. So this takes
yeah,
place now.
I he said the dude said that was 10 years ago when he was
The
Iron Man
Mandarin.
3, the
Yeah.
Mandarin. That was
Yeah.
10 years ago. So it's only been 10 years from now to where we are in the
Pretty
Marvel
much.
universe
Yeah,
to
pretty
fit.
much. Mar
Really?
Yeah, Iron Man 3, you gotta count the 5 years of the blip, all that stuff. So yeah, it it links up a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't. I kind of figured that was a little short, but the days are long in the Marvel
I
universe,
mean,
apparently.
you got wizards.
like,
You got
like
you you got the Statue of Liberty exploding because Spider-Man blew it up. No, it's
we
dog
have
years
5 or 6 things to deal with today, not
today,
just one
not just
galactic
one.
threat, right?
Outside of commuting to work, you got
Right.
dragons over LA and stuff,
Yeah.
man. You got stuff to deal with.
All right. So that does help. So give me a little context on Wonder Man. Who is he? Why should I care? Like,
Fair enough.
where might
Uh
he end up? Because I don't have any.
All right. That was gonna be my whole week. Like you said, it was a solo
Oh,
film content week. I was just gonna tell you my thoughts because I
well then
did
hold
watch
on. Yeah, we'll
all
leave it.
6.
Oh, well then we'll leave that to you. Hold on, we'll leave that to you. I'll jump over to my next thing then.
Okay.
Other thing that I did today, and I didn't get to do a lot of it because it was depressing. Um, so HBO has been advertising Primal to me. Do you know anything about this
Yeah, the
show?
Gendy Tornovsky animated thing that
Adult
looks
Swim.
great. Looks very dark.
So
Yeah. Caveman
I
stuff.
I think it was Thursday. The week's getting long for Wash. He's looking forward to a Friday, and he's like, you know what? I kind of want to watch something just light. So you know what? We
That's
will
not it.
we will click play because you've been doing this to me, or it's been in my eyesight for weeks now from HBO. They're like, watch the show. So I turn on, and there's no speaking. Art is fantastic. Pacing, music, sound, fantastic. It gives you actually real Jurassic Park vibes, like
Okay.
within minutes. You're like, oh, this is what Jurassic Park should have been like. So, to my point, this poor bastard caveman. He starts off his day like going to like get a fish, and he almost gets eaten. Then on his way home, he almost gets eaten like 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
and he hides and what's not. And we're still a couple of minutes into this thing, right? They're fresh. Brian's eating his dinner, and he's like, oh, all right, whatever.
Caveman life, dog.
Yeah, bro. And then he sees like a footprint, and then like bad things have happened. And
Yeah.
there are 3 dinosaurs who are literally eating his 2 daughters and his wife in front of him. And then, yeah. So Brian's like, So then,
Oh.
no, it gets better. The big mom dinosaur is a shadow in the background. And the 3 little dinosaurs, they just look at him. They look at him like he's the problem. Like, dude, you're about to bust us up, or you're just having a meal, and they go trotting off after the mom, and the camera shoots to this dude, and he's
Yeah.
not that
Devastated.
happy. And
Yeah.
so I was like, you know what? This isn't what I need this evening,
Cut.
but but I do plan on going back to it because it did capture my full attention. It had me. So uh just as a brief touch point on it. Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, check out Primal because it looks like it's gonna be kind of cool. It's 3 seasons, so this thing is not
I saw
short.
I have some history with Primal. I saw one episode that jacked me up, and I didn't like it, so I had to turn it off. It was one of those where it was an episode where I guess there's some plague in dinosaur land, and there's this like sickness, and dinosaurs get all gross and like green pus and like mucus comes out of their fucking faces, and they become pharaoh. And this one dinosaur gets killed. It falls into the water land where all the dinosaurs drink their water. So this bloated corpse of an infected dinosaur pollutes the entire, you know what I'm saying, like water well. It just it's the saddest, most like disturbing, like these sick poor dinosaurs have no shot because they don't have penicillin in 10 billion BC. And it's like this is not fun. I don't want to. What time is Dandy Tornovsky on? I don't want to watch this stuff, man.
But
I had,
but like there has to be a reason though, and
there's no reason. It just
but
happens.
and you know what? I think that's why I'm going back because it seems kind
Got
of
to be a reason,
crazy.
right?
It seems kind of crazy, like, and it's 3 seasons long, so meaning it's been proven. Like, if this thing was crap, it would not have lasted
It
what
wouldn't have
10 years.
survived,
Yeah,
right?
no. So, yeah, shout out to Primal.
I
So
mean,
they have been
at the end
trying
of
to get me.
at the end of the day, it is Gandy Tornovsky, man. The guy is the freaking goat.
Yeah.
So there has to be some logic. Like you said, there has to be something to it, right? But what I saw just depressed and made me upset. So I was like, you know what? I'm good, man. I don't
We
need
had
this.
the same experience, so that tells me that the whatever's in the rest of that 3 seasons probably is not going to be very uplifting. You know what I
It's like
mean?
prehistoric Breaking Bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna give myself anxiety watching this shit. No, I'm cool. I could be baking a cake or take a nap or something, man. I'm not forcibly gonna
Prehistoric
give myself
Breaking Bad.
anxiety. You know, Jurassic stress. You
Like
know,
really bedrock, you know what I mean?
yeah, the Flintstones, but directed by Darren Aronofsky or some shit. You know
Damn,
what I'm saying?
damn.
Oh no.
So that was my week. Mike, how was your week?
Week is good, man. Hopefully next week will be more video games. I've been working from home, just due to situations, and I just can't play video games while at work, man. And by the time I'm done working, it's like I'm just in here, So it's just like I'm starting to get a little cabin fever. You know what I'm saying? I can't do
Dude,
it.
I especially since and please go check out our video top 10 video game characters.
Such a
The
good
more
episode.
the more I think about the episode, the more I love the episode, the more I just love the conversation, the topic, and it just has me thinking about all these great video games that frankly I am never going to get to play again because I
Yeah, pretty
simply
much.
don't have the time. And
Yeah.
it's like, damn, bro, that's kind of depressing. And so I've spent a lot of my time this week trying to figure out how to get in more video game time. Like literally, and I have a Twitch channel, I'm getting in 3, 4 hours, but it's like, no, I
More
need
than me.
I need a chunk. I need like 6 hours twice a week, like at a chunk so that you can do some things. But to your point, sorry.
No worries. No. It's like, how do you find the time? And it's like, as you were saying that, it made me think about I maybe can play 2 or 3 games to completion a year. You know what I mean? So I have to pick them wisely. Last year it was Ghost of Yote and Outlaws are my 2 big games that I beat last year. Just and not even due to like obligation, just being older and getting tired and not feel like being bothered with it. You know what I mean? Like, why am I gonna play this video game when I can rest and rest my eyes after staring at a computer screen for 9 hours a day? Um, but want more gaming. But the main thing I really wanted to talk about, as you alluded to, was Wonder Man. I didn't know that was coming out. It just kind of shadow dropped.
Okay.
I wasn't prepared for it. It just was like, oh, that's out. Oh, that's out. They just put all the episodes out. They did an Iron Heart to it, where they're in pretty quick episodes, like 30 minutes each. So I just marathoned it that night. I just couldn't sleep. I'm just gonna watch all of Wonder Man one shot. Took a few hours. I hate that format. Make these episodes an hour. Give us more bang for our buck. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't like the 30
Interesting.
minute format. You know what I mean? It's
Well, look,
too
let me ask you in a couple of different questions because you're a big fan of animation as I am these days. Like I'm getting you there as far as just like the concept of being able to do more. And I'm not comparing, right? I'm not
yeah.
comparing, but for the sake of story, when you look at something like X-Men, which had a lot, but they were able to pace it well in the 30 minutes. Is it that this story just needs more time in the oven to cook, like the story literally needs another 30 minutes? Or is it just paced poorly?
That's a good question. These episodes are not paced poorly. I don't want to give that the impression that they're the the episodes are quite genius. Honestly, this is a very good series from start to finish. There's one episode that's so poignant that I think you just have to watch it, even if you don't watch the whole thing. It's episode 4. If you want to just find it, it's a standalone episode. It's a beginning, middle, and end story of a character in Marvel Comics that just appears in this series apropos of nothing. It's very interesting how they do it. Very interesting way they approached it. I just don't like this. This is a very ambitious uh approach to a Marvel property haven't seen since WandaVision. This is doing its own thing. As you mentioned earlier, who is Wonder Man? Why do I care? Right? Simon Williams. Is the Simon Williams here is very different, but the same to the Wonder Man we get in the comics. The Man we get in the comics was a villain. He was a byproduct of experiments by Baron Zemo to get back at Tony Stark. And then he became a hero, much like most Avengers do. Hawkman started out as a villain. Black Widow was a villain. Wonder Man is a villain, but became a hero. Um, Wonder Man's powers is that he can literally do anything. He's really busted, but he's also a very D-list character. He's he was where the Guardians were before the Guardians became a household name,
Gotcha.
right? So, and his name is Wonder Man, which Marvel doesn't really like using all that much because there's another character whose name starts with Wonder on the other side of the pond that they don't want any kind of association with.
I
You
hadn't
know what I
even
mean?
considered it. I just remember Wonder Man from like my childhood, and I
Yeah.
couldn't really place if it was like a comic in the newspaper. Like I couldn't place where I had seen it or interacted with it from. But yeah, I hadn't placed the other Wonder, which actually, yeah, I guess that makes sense now that you think about it.
Yeah. And Wonder Man is a interesting guy because he's one of those characters that his whole job is to explode. Almost like, think about like Jean Grey. Her
Mhm.
job in Marvel became to die. You know what I mean? That's the Phoenix. Punctuate that storyline with a death by Jean Grey. It's usually punctuate that storyline with a death by Wonder Man. You know what I mean? He'll come back in some other form or something like that. Um, More importantly about this series is not about Wonder Man the hero. This series is not about Wonder Man fighting evil. This is about Wonder Man the movie. There's an actual movie in the Marvel universe called Wonder Man that he's going out for the part of. Wonder Man was an old TV show, kind of like the Gray Ghost in Batman lore, right? And and Simon is this um um down on his luck, starving actor, and he also has the problem of being one of the most powerful characters in the MCU secretively. Um, and he gets in his own way. He's very cerebral. He overthinks his everything. There's the first scene of the series is him getting a pretty important role on American Horror Story, and he blows it because he's overthinking it. You know what I mean? He's talking to the director. He's changing lines. You know what I mean? He's only in an episode for like 2 seconds. He gets immediate if you're paying attention, he gets immediately killed. But he's building this entire universe behind a character that's on the screen for 5 seconds.
And I just want to say it's super uncomfortable because if you've been on a set and seen someone do that, you know it's super uncomfortable because you're like, bro, just, just read the lines, man.
Yeah, just read the line, bro.
No one cares.
Just
It's
no one
much like going to
cares.
work. You know what I mean? You go into
Yeah.
work, you go in your meeting, you got 60 people in there, and your CEO's talking. They don't really care about your opinion right now. Like,
No,
just
they
do your
really
damn
don't. They
job.
don't want your crazy ideas on how to increase productivity.
No,
Not right now. Not in the middle of the meeting with
no.
all the CEOs and stuff. And he just doesn't really think. He's so cerebral that he really talk he gets in his own way. You know what I mean? And that's as and the last thing on his mind is being a superhero. I wouldn't even consider him a superhero
Hmm.
in this
Interesting.
world. He is just Simon trying to break
Be
into
an actor.
Hollywood. And at first
And
I was
also,
watching and I was going to ask you like what's the series on your radar? You know what I mean? And your response was kind of like the opposite I thought that you would have taken it, cuz this entire show is a love letter to the process. Not
yeah.
not Hollywood, the process of Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like it drips with every small, like the behind the scenes, like the real, like working with talent agencies, the rises and falls, the awkwardness, the pressure. It's
I was
about
actually going to say some of the information that's given in it as like when Ben Kingsley's like telling him how to be an actor and to breathe out like that's actual real
work.
like it like yeah that's what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So from that point it is interesting, but from the other point like it's a Marvel movie and I'm expecting superheroes and
don't
you know what I
expect that,
mean? So
man.
like
That
hey dude,
it's crazy.
A20 A24 made nothing but horror movies and now they make like, you know, art films. Hey, I'm open to grow if Marvel's open to grow. If Marvel wants to be like, you know what, we now don't do just superhero films. We do semi-dramatic, you know, pieces with a tad bit of superhero. Cool. Just let me
It's
know what I'm in for. That's all.
I'm telling you, it's nothing like I've seen from Marvel since WandaVision. Right? WandaVision wasn't really a superhero show. It was more of like a science fiction take, right? With superhero stuff happening. And at the very end, it kind of jumped the gun and gave into the superheroisms of it. Wonder Man
Fantastic.
is a show that is about Simon all the way through, but it's not about Wonder Man, right? It's about Simon, and you learn everything you need to learn about Simon Williams and Trevor the Mandarin and where he's been and what is Hollywood like in a world with real superheroes? It's
And
weird. It's a
this is
very interesting take.
I can't guarantee I'm going to watch it because it really does something to my nervous system. You
I
know what I mean?
know.
So it's
Yeah.
like I'm gonna watch that episode two, but as soon as I started episode two and it said self tape, I'm like, yeah, we're good right
Yeah, we're
now. You
done.
know what
Yeah,
I
it's
mean?
too real.
Like,
It's too
like
way
it's
too real.
like I get it. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to push past that because it's still fairly new and
Fresh for
raw
you.
and fresh for me. So we'll
Yeah.
see,
I
but I
never thought of it.
planned on it. I plan on trying to. It was we talked about the trailer. The trailer did not do anything for me, but again, it's a new character. It's Marvel. We're in phase four. It's something that I need to consume to understand. So I'm gonna try and push through it. But yeah, it may be like traumatic,
I can
post
complete
traumatic, like
I can
inducing.
completely see that, bro. I can completely see that. And I wasn't even thinking that way. I'm like, I was thinking like, finally a show I can understand because I got to see that side of it. But it's like, yeah, that could be very traumatic for actors who had to live that in real life and then hear these terms that you thought you forgotten because you don't longer do that. It triggers you, you know? Like I don't want to once I retire from whatever I'm doing now, I don't want
Yeah.
to hear the word KPI ever again in my life. I don't want to hear those initials
No.
ever. I'm over.
No.
I'm past that, right? So when
Yes.
you hear it, you're like,
Yes.
nope, nope,
Yes.
we're not doing this. Not on my Saturday night, you know. So
Yes.
it's good. Wonder Man is
Yeah.
good. I'm not gonna go any further. I'm not gonna spoil anything. He does do superhero stuff. Not really. He does power stuff. It's very Wad Division,
Hey,
right?
as long as you said it's good, you know what I mean?
It's
You
good.
said Ironheart was good too, but we know the truth of that. You tend to
I
say
liked
things are
Ironheart.
good. Oh yeah, you
I
did
liked
like
Ironheart.
Ironheart. I didn't mind it. I didn't get
I
through it,
didn't
but
mind it, but
you
it,
you would
it's
definitely tell me if
I wouldn't
yeah,
steer
you
you
would tell me.
into
Yeah.
I wouldn't steer you into calamity for
Yeah.
comedic sake, dude.
Yeah.
If it's trash, I tell you it's trash. You know what I'm saying? Secret Invasion was trash. I'm like, there's no delusion for that series, you
I
know?
didn't hate it. It was just really freaking slow, and old man Samuel L. Jackson kind of wore on you by the end.
Yeah.
But I thought it had an overall decent story. I hate that they killed
I'll put it like this. Wonder Man
what's her name.
has an entire episode about Pacoima, California. I appreciate that because
Like,
Pacoima is very specific. And I'm like, you know what? If we're gonna spend the episode talking about Pacoima and the beautifulness of that small, forgettable town in California, shout outs to those out there who's from Pacoima. This show has already won my heart. Fine. You know what I mean? And Simon is very relatable as someone who gets in their own head. I literally have a sign in my room that says don't overthink stuff because I tend to overthink. So I kind of can relate. And what's crazy is that his powers are brought on by anxiety. When he's in situations that are really anxiety inducing, his powers start to flicker, manifest. And you know what I mean? Who doesn't kind of get the shakes when, and what's more anxiety induced than trying to get the big role? You know what I mean?
nothing. Not trying to get a role.
A role.
Like a role. Forget the big role. The big role, it's like, I don't feel very well. So, uh, on that note, good to know though. Good to know. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
very interesting show. If you could power through it, I didn't think about the past trauma, and I definitely would understand if you're like, you know what, I don't need that in my life right now. But maybe sometime down the road, check it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Perfect. You ready to talk about some topics, my man?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So let's get it out the way. I'm not going to shut up about this until I see it. The new Super Mario Galaxy trailer just dropped. My big question from Mario 1 is where's Yoshi? Where's my boy? Where's Yoshi? You know what I mean? Guess what? We got Yoshi. Watch. One, did you watch this trailer? And two, do you feel that you've seen enough of this before you want to jump in? Or do you think you need to see a little bit more before you're locked in?
Um, yes, I did see the trailer. Before I answer the second question, Daredevil was trash. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Why do we have to double down on Daredevil? Leave my boy
so
alone. Leave DD
you know what
alone,
I
man.
mean?
Leave Matt
People don't
alone,
know how
man.
to make trailers anymore. So,
People don't.
in full disclosure, the first Mario Galaxy trailer, I was like, you know what? That trailer did not catch me, and I think they must have heard me specifically and was like, "Oh yeah, Wash ain't happy, so we're gonna make this another trailer that's Yoshi." I was not going to watch another trailer. The only reason I did is because you sent it as part of the rundown because I had seen enough. I know what I'm going to get. I know I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
I didn't love the trailer. Love this trailer. This trailer was
Ah.
freaking great from the start. Like how it did it. Yeah, man. It's like, yeah, this is Super Mario and Illumination, Nintendo. You guys, I hope you have more than just Super Mario in you. I really do. I hope you got a board full of names and you're just cranking out films because this looks like it's going to be another just $1 billion.
$1 billion. Uh it looks like $1 million. It looks like $1 billion. Um I love that this is very much Galaxy. You know what I mean? I love that it's taking a lot of the Galaxy isms down to the realistic Tyrannosaurus Rex at the end of the episode, the end of the trailer, which is a callback to Mario. What was the one where Mario's hat was alive? The most recent game.
Oh,
He had the hat with the eyes on it that you can
yeah.
throw and become other characters. It was on the
Now
Switch.
that I think about it, it looks like Oracle.
Oracle rules. Don't talk to me
Oracle
about
does rule, but
Oracle freaking rules.
the hat does look a little like that. So
I want
anyway, go
I
on.
want a life-size Oracle. It looks more like this trailer reminded me of that game a little bit more than Galaxy. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Because that's not a Galaxy game. Dang it, that's gonna have to come to me later.
like Super Mario World or something like that. Not World, like it's. Damn it. Anyway, go on.
Yeah,
No.
but they gave us Yoshi. I'm hearing whispers that Kendrick Lamar is the voice of Yoshi. Is that right or wrong? Is that crazy? I'm hearing
I
that
did
Kendrick
not.
Lamar is the voice of, which would be
Wonder.
abs
Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
wonder. Thank you.
Wonder. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's one of those where Look at my boy, my number two of all time, sitting there chilling in his jean overalls. I don't need to see anymore. I saw what I needed to see. Yoshi was the lock in. Yoshi's locked in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and not talk about this, or at least not see anything more of this, but
Are you
until it comes out.
are you going to the theater to see this, or are you waiting?
No, why not? Why
All
not go
right.
to the movie to see this? You know,
Yeah, there
maybe
you
bring a
go.
friend, and maybe one of those Sunday matinees where I'm just not doing nothing. Just gonna sneak off and see it by myself with a box with some popcorn. Because I enjoyed the first. I didn't see the first one in theaters because I dismissed it. You know what I'm saying? So this one on the
Yeah,
big screen in IMAX is probably gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying?
they get Mike G's money, $1 billion. I was part of that.
$1 billion, and makes me want to play the game. I mean,
I've been
makes me
wanting
want
to
to play
play
a
Mario
Mario.
since we watched the first one. Although since we dude, like since we watched that, I'm like, I just want to do a Mario run, just do sit out. But you know
Yeah,
what? I gotta give up like 6 days of my life, and unfortunately, the bills don't stop.
the bills never stop, bro.
And
And,
Mario's not here to take care of them.
and
I do not
sadly,
have $1 billion.
Mario's not a byproduct of taking care of said bills.
No,
So as much as I would love for him to be, you know what I'm saying?
great.
So trailer looks great. We're getting Bowser Jr. Seems to be the main villain of this until there's like a secret. There's always a secret villain or something like that. But yeah, very. Don't need to see anymore. I'm good. I've
Yeah.
seen all I needed to see from this, and we'll just. I'll be in there with bells on. I'm gonna get my Mario popcorn bucket, whatever that happens to look like. Hopefully they have a Luigi one,
I
and I'll
mean,
get
you want to be
I'll
a
get
Yoshi one with just one in his back?
just the egg, like a Yoshi egg.
Oh yeah, like a Yoshi egg. Yeah, that
I'll be
makes
down.
sense. That makes
I
more
want a life
sense.
size Yoshi egg, bro. That'd be dope.
Even with the top that comes
Yeah,
off.
you just
Yeah,
open up the top,
absolutely.
dude.
Yeah,
That'd be fire,
absolutely.
dude. Speaking of fire, it was a big week for Dragon Ball last week. We got a lot of announcements. We got the Beerus remake of Dragon Ball Super. They're bringing back the Moro. They're bringing back Dragon Ball Super, which has been on hiatus since I want to say 2018. Dragon Ball Super just stopped because of the passing of Akira Toriyama and all that. So we haven't had any new Dragon Ball in almost like 5 or 6 years. So they're bringing back Dragon Ball Super with the manga arc, the Moro arc. But particularly, what interested me was this new video game project called Age 1000. We don't know much about it. All we have is this little Lord Fauntleroy here, who we don't know who he is, but he happens to be a Super Saiyan. Wash, my question for you is: I know you were getting into anime at one point, which I severely warned you against because anime is as life giving as it is corrosive. Were you a Dragon Ball guy? And two, does this interest you at all? This particular video
I
game?
am not a Dragon Ball guy, and I have popped on the occasional anime, but I took your warning seriously, and I'm like, dude, I'm already lacking at time. You know what I mean?
I love you,
So,
man.
um,
Oh, like I
you
said, I
know,
wouldn't steer you wrong, bro.
and so I'm gonna keep popping into different anime until I find that one project that just seems like, oh, this is going to fit for me at this time. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
try and at least experience the depth of some of it while I can. That said, not a Dragon Ball guy. Know a lot about Dragon Ball video games because I've sold quite a few of them.
Good.
Played a couple of the fighting games. Yeah, super popular games to sell.
Mhm.
This trailer in specific, you say it's a video game, but it looks like it should be a
Show.
television show because the television show sounds a television show the trailer looked like it would make a better television show than it did video game, if that makes
Mhm.
any sense. Like everything that we saw looked like the building and the passing of a torch to
Yeah.
a new um,
Era of Dragon Ball. A new
era of
age
Dragon Ball, a
of
new
Dragon
age.
Ball.
And this is what I was thinking. I was like, oh, Mike's gonna love this. As soon as I saw it, I was like, Mike's gonna love this because it looks like they're like flipping the page. They're literally saying, okay, guys, we're putting him to bed, letting him go to sleep.
This is the
Here's your new
future.
guy.
Yeah.
And so I kind of thought that you would like it, but no, I'm definitely. It's the art style, man. Anything with this type of cool, I don't even know
Like
what it is.
like
It's
the
just easy on the eyes. You know what I
yeah, the
mean?
Akira
It's like
Toriyama style, the simplicity of it, you know?
it. It, it kind of grabs me, and it's like I could play in this world a bit. So yeah.
There's a couple of things about this trailer that caught my eye. In Dragon Ball, funny enough, you kind of know everything you need to know about Dragon Ball through osmosis. You know what I'm saying? Everyone on this planet knows what a Goku is. You know what I mean? Like you said, you tested some of the games. One of my favorites was Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2,
Which
uh,
system? That's the only way I'm gonna know.
PlayStation 2, PlayStation 2
Okay,
with
okay,
the silver cover.
okay.
Of course, Dragon Ball Fighters is amazing. I'm even more old school Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, Dragon Ball Ultimate Battle 22, Dragon Ball Legends, all that fun stuff, right? Big old Dragon Ball nerd here. And when I saw this trailer, it automatically reminded me of my old days before the internet was big and we all had our Dragon Ball theories. Because people forget that Dragon Ball Z ended like in 1991, right?
Long time
Ended,
ago.
right?
And this is
So
why I thought it'd be great to have a new like series. You know what I
yes,
mean? Like a new thing.
there was like a because GT had already come out and ended by like 91, 92. Dragon Ball is old, guys. This is old things they're tagging on. So there was a kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Not a spoiler, but more like a myth of a new series called Dragon Ball AF. And we thought it was called Dragon Ball After Future, which takes place like 1,000 years in the future, and Goku's already been dead or a deity or something like that, right? Funny enough, it was a joke by Shonen Jump, and it was called AF because it was Dragon Ball April Fools. But we as dumb Americans didn't know the translation, so we thought it was something for real for decades. Man, Dragon Ball AF is gonna come out. It's gonna be Goku, Super Saiyan a million, and it's gonna be crazy, dog. We're all gonna lose it. And as soon as I saw this trailer, I automatically thought of Dragon Ball AF, man. Like, man, they're bringing it back. Dragon Ball 1,000 years in the future, right? And I was like, crap, this trailer is irritating because on one half, you look at this guy, he is going Super Saiyan. He is using a plethora of different moves, down from Goku to Vegeta to Gochita, and he has silver eyes and silver hair, which now means Ultra Instinct. So is this guy just in Ultra Instinct? Is he an angel? This is a bunch of stupid Dragon Ball stuff, or is he just a creatable character? Which is sad. Which is the sad, horrible truth that this is a creatable
Or
character.
is he just a
Nothing.
creatable character?
Or is he just nothing? Right? They don't tell us enough.
He's you.
He's you. You're age 1,000. That would suck. I want him to be somebody in the series. Like you said, that time jump is so interesting. I love time jumps,
Damn it.
especially in anime. They're the best. Character gets older, gets more powerful. You know what I'm saying? There's new characters. There's Goten and Trunks. What if it's just a
You have
lame
me
ass?
so depressed now. Like
That's,
I was,
that's
I
going on in
was
my
like,
head,
you
bro.
know what I mean? It's like I was like, oh, maybe I can catch on to
This will
this
be
Dragon
sick.
Ball. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
this
It's
is how
like,
you
oh,
jump
well,
in.
this is this new. I
Who's
can
this
get
guy?
in. Like, yeah, let's do it. And now I'm
Or
just like, oh, you mean it may not even be a character? It's just, oh, that's cool. It's me.
Ours Grande, ours ours Ariana Grande lover 99 in his cosplay as the chosen one, bro. Like, I need more. I can't even like this until I know more. Dog. I
So
can't like this
funny.
until I know more, dog. Because what if it's just a creatable character and it doesn't matter, bro. It is a video game, and that's a very big video game ism of it just being like you said, it's you. You're
Especially
the
Japanese video game.
yeah. It's all about
Absolutely
isekai.
100%, dude.
Yeah, it's just
100%.
9 out of 10 times it's just you. This what like it's really feast or famine. Either it's a new
Yeah.
character and he's mysterious, you don't know, is he a descendant of Goku? Who is
And
this guy?
no,
Or
they didn't give you anything in the
they don't give you
trailer. There's
nothing, bro.
no information. It's just
No.
all visual, and it's like, this is cool.
This is cool. Who is this guy? He's doing all the cool moves, which makes it feel more like a creatable character because you could pick and choose what moves you like. I want to do this move from Goku. I want to do this move from Cell. I want to do this move from Frieza. It
Would it be
bothers me a little
worse?
bit.
What if it's like an app?
Oh fuck, that's even
What?
worse. I just recoiled. I literally physically recoiled that this is gonna be on Android and
Yeah,
fucking
bro.
Apple, and it's
Yeah,
just like it's like a gotcha app.
yeah, yeah. App
We're
fighting
moving
game,
on.
Dragon Ball
We're
Z
we're
Age
moving the fuck on.
1000.
You just
That's
killed it.
you.
That's out of I went low, you went to hell, bro. It's pretty much what just happened. I thought it was just gonna be some bad, like build a character. No, you said, what if it's just an app, bro?
Yeah,
What if it's Dragon Ball Snap, dog? What the
yeah,
it makes $1 billion. Funny enough, an app would make infinite more money than a regular video game would,
I
which is
mean,
sad. Ah, man. Speaking of things that are sad, kind of, but also cool, I put this on the docket selfishly because I love the first season so much, and that is Paradise season 2. The story about the end of the world, and kind of like something we were talking about the other day of like hollowing out. How do you know if a mountain is hollowed out and there's just stuff in there, like secret stuff we're not supposed to know about? This series is just that. The world comes to an end. These people are living in this weird beaver-esque Americana, and the actual weirdness of it starts to kind of weigh on them. They start getting cabin fever, and it just kind of devolves to them kind of leaving that perfect world to go out into the hellscape. Think of it like Fallout. They live in the vault, but it's a super cool vault that is just like normal life. And outside of that is the wasteland. Season 2 starts with our main character here, um, Sterling Brown, going out into the wasteland. Now he's Lucy, and he has to figure out how to find his wife. It's a very Fallout like story. So one, I wanted to just ask Wash. I know we've talked about this in the past. Did you ever pick this up into being a Fallout fan? Would you ever give it a shot?
no,
Interestingly enough.
no, I don't think we talked about this. Like this wasn't
Really?
on my
Hmm.
radar. I had no idea. I had never heard anything about this when I watched this trailer. I'm like, what's this? Then I'm like, unfortunately, I'm like, it looks like Fallout because we
Yeah.
have Fallout now. You know what I mean? But this looks different than Fallout for sure. It definitely looks like an ABC type of lost drama. Especially with Sterling K. Brown, the man sitting
Yeah,
out
he's the
there.
man, dude.
But
Yeah.
no, it's. I would say it is now on my radar. Unfortunately, I will probably just pick it up at season 2 because
Fair enough.
that trailer for the trailer pretty much gave away what happened in season 1, and you can kind of just fill in the pieces. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah,
it's an
pretty
effed
much.
up like, government installation or
Yeah,
privately ran installation, but
there's
it's
secrets
all the
upon
same.
secrets,
You know what I mean? Same nonsense. The point is he's out now, so I don't want to go watching the show when he's in. So,
Yeah.
Hulu, I will probably go ahead and give this. This will probably at least get on the TV once. Um, you know, I used to watch dramas. I used to watch Lost. I used to watch. That used to be all I consumed, and
Mhm.
now I guess I don't watch as much simply because for a long time the quality just went down. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Grey's Anatomy season 27, and they just carbon copied it. I mean, even we even have the Pit now that people are talking about. Amazing show, all types of awards, and it has my interest peaked. But at the same time, I'm like, have I seen this 700 times
Before.
before?
Yeah.
Is this written for the average, like just prime time television show, or is this substance? And I'm going to leave that question to you.
Uh, the thing is, I don't have a very big track record with this type of drama. So, I tried getting into Lost, really couldn't get into it. Um, I wasn't really a big fan of the mystery box type series where it's a MacGuffin and the entire season one is just figuring out the MacGuffin. But lately, my TV watching interests have shifted from superheroes and horror to more espionage, more kind of spy kind of TV shows. Like I'm watching The Night Manager with Tom Hiddleston right now. on
Oh,
Amazon.
yeah, that
Amazon,
actually looked interesting. My
super good.
HDMI still out. I tried to watch some the other day. No, you can't. HDMI doesn't work.
Ah, I feel you. Also, I just started tonight the Copenhagen Effect with the guy from Shang-Chi. That's another kind of like weird science fiction
Yeah,
spy
that did.
thing.
That's getting good reviews, and the trailer didn't grab me. Since we're
Me
talking
neither.
about weird shows, I
Yeah.
started watching a Murder in a Small Town with Kristen Kirk. That's on Fox. Uh,
Yeah.
one or two episodes in, I got to be honest, I didn't hate it. I, it,
That's where I'm
I
at.
didn't hate
Are
it.
we
You
getting
know,
old, man?
I
I'm starting to
maybe,
like my stories. I need my stories. We getting old, man. We just like these
maybe.
grandpa, these dad shows. But Paradise grabbed me because it reminded me of a Twilight Zone episode. It was like things are normal, but they're not normal. It opens. This is no spoiler, but it opens with the murder of the president of the United States, and we got to figure out what happened. You know what I mean? And it's and Sterling Brown is the head of the Secret Service, so it's his job to protect the president. President's in a maybe 200 people in this bunker at max. So it's a very tight knit group of humans that are in this situation and surviving the end of the world. And he's not only the person who's in charge of figuring out what happened, but he's also a suspect because everyone's a suspect at that point. It's such a small group. So it's a very interesting approach to this kind of sci-fi and kind of like what happened to the world, right? That's another mystery box type thing. Like, how did the world come to an end? You know what I
Do you
mean?
know who directs this or who's the team behind
Ah,
it?
I
You
think
got
it is
any?
the Lost Folks. I
Is
think
it
it
the
is.
Lost Folks?
I think it's the Lost Folks, but I could be wrong.
Did you watch 24? Were you a 24 guy?
Early 24. Early
Early.
24.
Okay. All right. Fair
I was
enough. I was
watching
gonna say, you know.
24 and Prison Break and you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know,
And I want to say Prison Break is about the time I finally started to get off of it. I was just kind of like,
yeah.
yeah, these are just redos, and so all right, that's interesting. Dan Fogelman and Julianne Nicholson. That
Yeah,
name
I
sounds
think
familiar,
Fogelman
but
has
I
done
don't
some
know.
stuff. Yeah, he's produced some
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed the first season a lot. Very hyped for the second season. Like you said, very Fallout vibes, but serious. More I would say less Fallout, more The Last of Us type.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like if I had to give it like and I hate The Last of Us, right? But I hate The Last of Us for very different reasons. Hopefully this doesn't fall into those tropes of stuff like that. But we'll see. I don't know.
I'm going to bring it up simply because we're kind of talking about it. Another shout out to the top 10 episode. Did you see the trailer for the Walking Dead X, the zombie? What's the Brad Pitt zombie movie with the thousand
World War
zombies?
Z.
Yeah, did you see their World War Z X, The Walking Dead? Did
I
you see this
saw a
trailer?
bro, I saw an image of it and it looked dumb as hell. It
Fi-
it was just like Coral and Rick holding a gun like this with infinite zombies behind. It looks stupid.
So that's exactly what it is. It's the gang from The Walking Dead in World War Z. But my point is, as soon as I'm watching the trailer, I'm like, you know what? If Clementine was in this freaking game, I would probably
That's
play
the
it.
saddest part of
Why
all.
is you? It's a video game. Where is Clementine in the Walking Dead video game?
You ever see that meme of the mom playing with their kids in the pool? And it's like PlayStation, he's holding up the baby. It's like Xbox, and the baby is like flailing at the bottom of the pool as a skeleton.
Yeah,
It's like Atari, and it's just dead. You know
yeah.
what I mean? That's where Clementine is, dog. She's a skeleton at the bottom of the Walking Dead pool. Sad.
It was sad. I was so like, man, that's weird. But you got Daryl here. We got Daryl, yay, and we got Rick, who's not even on the
You know
damn
what?
show anymore.
I
Like,
had
what are we?
something I had a similar problem where it was like, hey guys, guess what the new 1/6 scales that came out were announced were? K-pop Demon Hunter. Aren't you hyped? K-pop Demon Hunter getting 1/6 scale figures. And in my salty ass old man brain, I'm like, where the shit is Cal Kestis, dog? where the hell is HK-47? You know, like where the where the where the bitch is. Like, I'm just mad because it's like out of all the characters that haven't been made and all the games that need so much respect, this is
K-pop demon. Oh my
K-pop dude is hot. They're so hot right now. I
my goddaughters
freaking hate it.
love them.
Oh, they love him. Oh, they absolutely love him. Speaking of things that's getting plenty of love, I thought this was a very interesting article. So, when did it become trendy to hate on a new game? As Highguard struggles to win the internet. So, Highguard is a fairly new game that just launched. I'm sure you've seen, well, you saw it for the first 2 days because people dropped this game like a bad code on Twitch. People were it launched literally like Tuesday, and people have moved on, and it's Friday. It's bad way, dog. It was a game that was initially announced as the closing game of the Game Awards.
Damn,
The last game they show, which is usually a big game.
damn.
That's when you show Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? That's when you show the new God of War. Guess what they showed? High Guard. And the crowd goes mild. Nobody cared. Everybody was like, what? Why this game? Game comes out, and immediately people are like, this is whack. You know what I mean? Like, this game is garbage. Like, what are we doing? I watched it because the guys who this is from the people who made Titanfall and from the people who made Apex Legends. And so I'm like, I like Titanfall. I really like Titanfall too. Respawn is a pretty good team. Respawn is the team that made Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Respawn is the team that made, Jedi Survivor. And everyone just dogpiled this game, and the makers of this game are like, why is it so cool for people just to hate immediately? Like, and my question to you, Wash, is that do you feel that we're getting to a point where rage bait media has really starting to eat its own tail, or is there still room for fresh hate in the industry?
Oh, well, there's always going to be room for fresh hate in the industry because people are
Yeah,
assholes, and
yeah.
apparently you can just get to a key.
Oh, you
Am I
muted.
back? All
Yeah,
right.
you're back.
Oh yeah. All right. So, um, you know, a couple of things about this story in this game. First, to the game. Didn't look interesting when I saw the trailer. Didn't
No,
look interesting when I saw
to be fair, to
to
be
be fair, of what it is I saw gameplay wise. To the question of when did it get popular to do this? And I was trying to think of it, but you might have nailed it. I was thinking of who was the team? What there was a team who was Halo. That's 343 games, 242 games.
343, I
343
think. Yeah,
games, 4-3, something like that. There was a game that they did that was hated right after the Halo series. I cannot remember the name of it.
Halo Infinite. Halo
Was it Infinite?
Infinite. Yeah,
I mean, it was despised, and that
despised.
is really when this like rage like took hold, and it only increased more with shooters, primarily with games like Titanfall, because Titanfall, the first one, came floating in right past it. You're like, I like Titanfall. I've had Titanfall sitting on Wash's shop for sale now for like $2 for 7 years, and this thing won't sell.
Won't
No
move.
one likes this game, right? So it's like,
Wow.
when did it become popular? Sometime in like 2014 or 15, right?
Yeah.
Why do game publishers continue to, and I'm not going to say allow, put themselves in a position to where if someone with a keyboard does do this, it matters, right? So, like,
Mhm.
meaning, like, there's a ranking system somewhere where, like, you saw the Nintendo DS game that went up, that everybody, they rage hated this, and then they took this weird Nintendo DS game and they, like, pumped it up, and now that game is selling on eBay for like $170, and it's like Charlie in the House. It's some stupid, like, Nickelodeon television
Yeah,
show,
I know
right?
I know what you're talking about,
Right?
yeah.
So why is it that that can happen as a mechanic, right? What
Mm.
system are we on to where they're like oh yeah, this algorithm is going to allow us to rage bait you so that if people rage bait your game, it just goes down. Like Yelp, you go out, you hate a restaurant. Everybody just hate this restaurant on Yelp. Like, why is this system allowed? And so the question is a bigger question because as a game publisher, I would not allow my game to be reviewed on said platform. It would not be like allowed. It's
It's
like
tough.
you go to YouTube and you block comments. Guess what? You can buy my game and you can't review it. Well, if no one can review it, you know what? Do it like they do back in Nintendo Power, man. Go get like a hard review. Like read someone in the New York Times who played it. Go to Twitch, watch a stream. I'm done letting people just rage bait me.
It's you know what? It's just to answer your question. I think that, and this is a bigger question than gaming. We have issues with this, like you said, with every facet of our consumer lives is now this issue of rage clickbait drama that sells, right? From gaming to movies to clothes to restaurants, right? Let's use your let's use your restaurant analogy so I can make my point. You open some certain brands have are almost bulletproof to this type of effect. McDonald's is going to be McDonald's, and I don't care how low you rate McDonald's, there's going to be McDonald's, right? Who rates a McDonald's a five? Have you ever seen a 5 out of 5 McDonald's in your life?
I mean, no, I
Like
don't
a
go to
like a
McDonald's, so
perfection McDonald's, right?
yeah.
Doesn't exist. They're always 3 out of 5s. The ice cream machine is broken. Whoop de whoop. But that McDonald's is never going anywhere because it's
No,
McDonald's. But if your brand lacks that structural integrity, it makes it vulnerable to this type of attack. Um, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to make $1 billion whether we wanted to or not,
correct.
right?
Review bombed or not.
Review bombed or not, people can call it woke, people can call it misogynist, people can call it sexual. You can call it everything, but its real name, and it's going to make $1 billion because it has that brand bulletproof structural integrity. The problem with these newer games is that they don't lack that same integrity. So all it takes, and you can try your best. You can, like you said, go on YouTube, turn off the comments. You can go on Yelp, turn off the reviews. But in the court of public opinion, all it takes is your favorite streamer to say this game is ass, and that has wired you. It wires your opinion in a bit, and we're not talking about the individual person who can make their own decisions. And I'm my own man, and I can play the game. But to the drooling masses that will are that do what they're told, all it takes is that shadow of a doubt to completely shelve whatever you got going. I got food poisoning at that restaurant. Did you hear Douglas got food poisoning? I never eat there. Mom, you know that new restaurant that just opened? Douglas got food poisoning. Let's never go there. Guess what? That restaurant doesn't last a month. That's all it takes.
I think you make a valid point, and I would say that what's missing now that is overly abundant all at the same time is media, right? When we
Yeah,
were growing up, there were Game Gear magazine, Nintendo Power magazine, Electronic Gaming Monthly. There's like 3 or 4 major
the ghosts,
publishers who did it.
Game
Now
Informer.
there's Game Informer. There's no guard at the station when it comes to video game media integrity, right? And it's a hard proposition to tell, hey, Mike G, quit your job, bro. Make MOTN a video game mainstay. Get in there, do the reviews, go to the people. It's a hard thing to do because it's like, yeah, but I'm not going to be able to pay my bills because no one's reading any of that anymore. No one's
No,
playing the demo disc anymore. But what would stop this is if a pardon me, and his name's just slipping, the Silent Hill dude. Silent Hill dude.
Akira Yamaoka,
Yeah, no, the dude who
Christoph
made it.
Waltz.
No,
Um,
like Silent Hill, like the famous dude,
Team
crazy
Silent,
dude, Resident Evil. Like who's the dude? Who's
be
the
the person
dude?
that.
The Japanese dude, crazy wild Japanese. Death Stranding dude. Who's that dude?
Oh yeah, you're talking about Hideki, not Hideki Kamiya. Dang it! Now you put me on the spot. He
Yeah,
made
you
Metal Gear
see what I
Solid.
mean? I
Yeah,
can't
Metal Gear
remember
Solid
his
guy.
name, right?
His name.
Anyway,
Yeah,
let's say he tomorrow he's like, I'm gonna open up a gaming media like publication, and I'm going to run this thing like the New York Times.
Hideo Kojima.
This Kojima, this would get cut down on because it doesn't have like there's something with integrity. And I love IGN, and I love what gaming what culture gaming.com. I'm getting the name wrong, but they don't necessarily have the legacy power to stop this type of thing because people just go to them to get their video game news. So,
I think
my point, Steam hit a peak of 97,000. We shouldn't know that number.
we really shouldn't.
We
That's not a
shouldn't know
healthy.
that
That's not
number.
healthy information for us.
Why is that information when it can get review bombed? You know what I mean? Like, why is you saw Instagram do it for kids' mental health, right? Because we were about to get our asses sued. So we're going to take away the number of likes if you want, so that people can't see how many likes
It
they
jacks
have
up
or
their
don't like.
mental.
Right. So why do we know? We shouldn't know.
It's too much information. That's the gift and the curse of
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah.
We know, right?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah. And
we know everything. We
there's no
and we
dragon who can talk about it and go. There's no Adam Sessler to be like, yeah, it has 97,000 subscribers, but it's still a really good game. You should go play.
know
There's
why?
not that strong voice.
Because there's no strong voice. Because we're all the voices. Because we're the voice.
Yeah, dude, it's
There
terrible.
is no. Yeah, it sucks. And
It
there's
is eating its head. You did say that. It's eating its own head.
this,
Yeah,
the Ouroboros. The snake
yeah,
is eating its own tail, bro.
yeah.
And I think that these game makers, these film directors, these content creators are just gonna stop listening to us, bro. If they haven't already. Because we used to have a voice in this. When something doesn't look good, there was enough time for us to say, you know what, constructively, we deserve better. But the problem is that that voice has become so loud that we say that with every single little thing. Everything is critiqued, everything is nitpicked, everything is dragged through the mud. And given a year, no, this game looks mediocre. Let's just call it spade a spade. It looks like everything else is trying to do everything, but it's not doing anything. Um, but this conversation is bigger than High Guard. This is just in media in general. I think that maybe it was a mistake to give us all a voice. Does
Uh,
that sound crazy?
no,
Like
I don't.
all of us a voice? Not everybody needs to be heard, bro. Some people need to shut the F up. And the
Correct.
problem is those are
Full
the
stop.
loud ones. Those are the
Correct.
loud ones. Those are the
Correct.
ones that are making people change their minds about downloading a free to play game.
And look, I don't want to sugarcoat this. You know how much money was lost on this? You know how much time, effort? People
Millions
are
of
losing
dollars.
their
Their
jobs over
jobs.
this, like
Yeah.
livelihoods, families, all because some assholes review bombed. Like,
It's how is that? Why, like you said, why does our opinions weigh so much in and I get it. Like we're the market, right? We decide what we like
and it's
but
free
with
to
our
play.
dollars, and it's free to play
And
in
it's
our
free to
attention,
play.
right? People will complain about Marvel shows and movies until the day is long, but people still go out to see them.
Yeah.
It's bulletproof, sadly. And a lot of people will say, well, no, Mike, Captain America and the winner, whatever, but it still made millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? It's still, people are still going to go see it regardless of what your nerd take is. And I think that it's going to get to a point where our voices don't matter anymore because we did it. You know, we allowed these loudmouths to take over the general consensus of a feeling and navigate these companies into the ground.
Yeah.
If you're not bulletproof, there is room for doubt, right? And it's sad because like people, our game couldn't even get off the ground because three major streamers said this game was ass, and those three major streamers have 1 million followers of 15-year-olds that have their own individual schools and their own individual circles, and they spread like a virus to where no one's touching this with a 10-foot pole.
Got to do a better job marketing. That's the only way to combat it. And marketing is not cheap in the world of that.
Video,
Yeah, and not
yeah.
in this world, man. Marketing is not cheap,
And
not
it's
at
like I
all.
almost wanted to fire it up just to get my own opinion,
In
but it looked
fact,
bad. It didn't look like it didn't feel good.
I'm glad you said that, Mike, because just based off this conversation, I'm gonna fire it up just because, like, what are we
Why not?
doing? What
What
are
are we
we?
doing?
It's
Yeah,
free. You
it's
got
free.
nothing else better to do? Like, it's free, guys. What are you complaining about?
What do you
Someone gives you a
want?
free hamburger. Are you like, oh, but it's too small? It's only a junior size hamburger.
Ketchup. I hate ketchup. Nigga, eat your burger and shut
Eat your
up,
fucking
dude.
burger, bro. Like,
We come from a different universe, dog. Interesting topic, I think. It's just how do we combat this? Because people are
if
just going
we
to get
if we had the answer, we'd be
we'll
billionaires.
be billion dollars, dog.
$1 billion.
Speaking of someone who was worth $1 billion, this news dropped today. I just wanted to take a moment to just talk about the talent, the spoons. I'm a spoonie. I understand that the talent of Miss Catherine O'Hara, mom to a lot of us. Most people know her from Home Alone. I knew her from Beetlejuice. She was also in the show Schitt's Creek. I never saw that, but it looks kind of funny. Um, just an amazing talent. My favorite Catherine O'Hara thing was, you ever seen Best in Show about like the Westminster Dog Tournament?
No, but I've
You
sold
know what
it.
I mean?
Yes, I've
Best
sold
in
that
Show.
movie.
It is.
Yes, yes, I
It's by
have.
the guys who did dang it. It's by the guys who did the rock and roll comedy documentary. This one goes to 11. Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap,
Ah,
but it's about the
ah.
Westminster Dog Show. And she sings God loves a terrier. You know what I mean? Like Catherine O'Hara is one of those actors that you just didn't realize was so integral to your growing up experience. Because who didn't watch Home Alone? Who didn't watch Home Alone 2? You know, I'm a horror geek, so Beetlejuice was just on all the time, and she was always that mom. So I want to ask you, Wash, do you have any history with this actress? Does this sting to you at all, or is this something that you just aren't really on the, you know what I
Uh,
mean?
no, just Home Alone and Beetlejuice for the most part. Fantastic actress. I know everyone I know who watches Schitt's Creek swears that it is the God's Bible. Like they love
Mm,
freaking Schitt's Creek. So it's not something that I have sat down to watch because I don't watch comedies. I especially don't really watch comedies around drama and that are an hour long and they're serious. But I hear it's really funny. That said,
mhm.
she was a funny lady. Gone way too soon at 71.
Way too soon at
God bless.
71.
As I look at these years and I start hitting those birthdays and ticking, it's like God, that's just way too young for
Yeah.
such a talented actress. So, uh, R.I.P. and beloved to her family, best to her family. Pardon me.
Yeah, didn't want to spend too much time on this. Just wanted to give my history of this great actress. God does indeed love a terrier. So I just want to give my shout outs to Miss Catherine O'Hara, and like you said, just shouts out to her, to all her loved ones going through this transition. Um, Speaking of a transition from Ghost to Shell, well, that's horrible, Mike. What the fuck? Um, we're talking about a new Ghost in the Shell trailer. I was not expecting this. Ghost in the Shell is one of those timeless top 5 animes of all time, of just the old school anime. So we're talking Ninja Scroll, we're talking Ghost in the Shell, freaking we're talking Akira, as
Correct.
like, welcome to anime. Here's 5 movies to watch to understand anime. Um, I was really big into Ghost in the Shell, the standalone complex, which was a TV series based off the movie on Toonami many moons ago. Also at the forefront of Toonami being a big thing, being the anime hub that it became for a lot of us nerds. We're not going to talk about the Scarlett Johansson film because that doesn't exist. That was wiped from the Nerdiverse. But the way this is looking is that they're going to try to redo it with the main character back as that philosophical, theological, political, just take on what we are as humans, what makes you human. Um, Wash, I know that you were dipping your toes into anime, and my advice was to steer clear because anime is a pit with monsters and hentai girls. But one thing I will say, if you really wanted to give it a shot, focus on the small bites, focus on the movies, focus on the short series of like 5 or 10 episodes. The Cowboy Bebops, the Triguns, the Wolf's Reigns, the the big O's, and movies like the Ghost in the Shells, the Ninja Scrolls, the what I'm saying, like the Akuras. That's the anime, and it's maybe I'm old and I just don't have time to watch 1,000 episodes of One Piece. But I would say maybe this could be your entry into Ghost in the Shell. Maybe you dig it. Maybe you want to watch that original anime, which is so effing gorgeous and mind blowing. If you like The Matrix, a lot of The Matrix is Ghost in the Shell, so you'll vibe with it.
I've seen Ghost in the Shell. I
Yeah,
know all of the anime that you just said, with the exception of two of them. So I've watched every anime you mentioned
we
except
take those. We
two,
take those.
which is why I'm venturing into other anime because it's like
Okay,
I just
okay.
haven't. So
I wouldn't
yes,
know.
I do
That's
have the
good.
basics. We haven't talked about that, but I do have the basics. And yes, Ghost in the Shell, original 1987,
80,
90. I have no idea.
86, something like
86?
that.
Okay.
Something like
Freaking
87.
fantastic. Like, I saw it late in life, got to it probably within the last 15 years, give or
Mhm.
take, is when I first saw it, and I was just the entire time, I was like, "This is freaking awesome. This is
It's
amazing."
gorgeous.
So I saw Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in the Shell. I did not like that as much. So,
Nah, we don't talk about
that said, stoked to see that this is back, especially now we live in such a time where this type of story is super relevant. And I liked what I saw of the trailer. I didn't see this
yeah.
character, so I'm wondering if I saw the trailer or if I saw something else. All I saw was a bunch of lines
It's
for like
there's a lot
40
going on.
seconds. It
There's
was
a lot
like
going on
line,
in it.
line,
It was a
line, line. I
30-second
was like,
trailer, and it was just like, "Do, do, 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 do,"
like, yeah, all right, well, I don't have any acid today, but thank you. On
I'll be
that,
better prepared later.
right. On that note, yeah, stoked. I'm definitely going to tune into whatever this is simply because it's a great story. Not even
It's a
about
beautiful
anime.
story.
It's just a freaking fantastic, good sci-fi freaking story. So yeah, definitely in on this. And if we want to remake the movie, I'm okay with that too. No hate on Scarlett Johansson, just wasn't a very well done movie. When
Nah,
you look at like the 86, like you put it up against 86 and you're like, again, one of these things done in art, one of these stunts done in real life, and it's like, maybe we shouldn't have spent the money in real life. We
it's funny.
maybe.
Earlier in the podcast, you mentioned like the different, like how anime is superior to live action. You know what I mean? And we're starting to find that anime just seems to be superior and find live
You
action.
could
And
just do more.
you can do more,
That's it.
but certain things cannot be animated. Like I will detest going back to Wonder Man. Is that it's a show that has to be live action. You cannot do that because of the emotions, the acting in it is so important. Not that that can be conveyed in anime, but it carries a weight that needs to be live action. I'm just gonna flat out say it. It is impossible to convert any anime into live action. None of them will ever convert well.
It's gonna be hard.
Well, we just don't have the technology. We don't have the sensibility. Even like when the Japanese decide we're going to make a live action version of our own stuff, it's never as good. It's just you can't do it. It's just too crazy. It's too fantastical. It just won't work. It's impossible. It will never happen.
We can look at video game content today and go, it's being made by people who like video, who love these video games, who love Fallout, who love Super Mario Brothers. The only way you're going to get that type of translation, you have to have both the money and the
In the love.
creator and the love all in the same role. That's the only way it happens, man. And then you have to have name appeal because those things I mentioned, they are going to sell $1 billion. Even if the best Ghost in the Shell in the world was put out by Pixar tomorrow, is that going to have the name recognition to do the dollars and cents they want? I don't know. That's not the conversation here. But you have to have people who love it in order to translate it into live action properly,
And even
even
that's not
close.
enough
Like, dude,
sometimes.
it's hard.
Remember
It's hard.
remember when they were trying to remake Akira all those years?
Yeah,
They kept talking about it and
yeah.
talking about it, and Martin Scorsese was tied to it, Taika Waititi was tied to it, Leonardo DiCaprio was tied to it, and it was like, "We wanna make this for real. We wanna make it for real." And it's like, it's impossible. You just learn that there's nothing you're gonna do that's going to satisfy the source material. There's nothing. I'm sorry, like, I remember, it's that thing when you're a kid. He was like, "Oh, they'll never do Spider-Man right. They don't know how to make him swing. They'll never have Spider-Man swing right." Now, fast forward 30, 40 years, Spider-Man's all over the place and he's swinging and looks great. I just have no faith that, like you said, there's certain sensibilities to get this right, live action. Like you said, you have to have the money, you have to have the talent, you have to have the love, and you have to have the face, right? And not even necessarily the face sometimes, because you can build, if something's good, you can build a face from, you could be a nobody like Hugh Jackman in the X-Men movie. He was a damn
Unlike our
nobody.
previous story, like, you know what I mean? You got Respawn, Titanfall. Yeah, not selling anything.
No.
Whatever.
But but if that High Guard game was made by Rockstar, maybe people would have been a little bit more kinder to it because of the name recognition, and it's can't fail. It's made by the goats. It can't be bad, right? Right. It's Hollywood is fucked. Watch Wonder Man, dude. It's all talks about all this stuff, man.
Dude.
It's fucking
I also
crazy.
want to say it in part to Wonder Man. You just as far as the first episode goes, it's hard to act being an actor to act as an actor. You know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
act to literally
It's hard to be
act.
an actor acting as an actor.
Yes, like that is hard, and he did it great. So anyway,
Yeah,
moving
Yaya kills that role.
on.
Don't get me wrong. Like, is he a superhero? No. Like, that's really not the focus of the series. Now, maybe season 2 he can be Wonder Man and really be kicking ass and taking names, but it's just really about him just trying to break into Hollywood and how much that sucks, and like how treacherous it is and how nerve-wracking it is, and having to pretty much lie, cheat, and steal to get anywhere forward motion. You know what I'm
God
saying?
bless all you people out there doing it. I respect the hell out of each and every one of you. Hard work. Hard work, man. Hard work.
Doing the Lord's work is what they see, what
Hard
we
work.
call that, dude. And with that, we will bring ourselves to the end of Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, episode 151. It's hip to be a troll. It's hip to be Wash. At the end of all things, which of these 4 topics did you enjoy talking about the most?
Dragon Ball Age 1000 because now I'm freaking depressed. I'm like,
You did that.
ever
I
since
didn't
I
do that.
said it,
You
I'm
did
like,
that.
it could be an app. I'm like, God damn it. It could
God,
absolutely
shut
100%
up.
be a freaking app.
Oh my god.
100%. So,
There's no
yeah.
way. There's no way they would do that, right? Right?
I
Oh
mean, wouldn't they
no,
have
man.
just said PlayStation 5 coming soon to
They didn't say
PlayStation 5,
nothing.
Xbox?
They said nothing. We don't know
You
what the hell
know,
this thing is.
it means it's coming to Android and iOS, and they want to keep the hype up. That's what it means.
And it's crazier. That's not the official name. It's Project Age
Project.
1000. So they don't even have a solid title for this thing yet. It's an
What,
idea
what if it turns out not to even be Dragon Ball? It just comes out like
from the mind
it,
of Akira
it,
Toriyama.
yes, in the final, they just swap it out. They're like, yeah, no, we're not doing any of that. But it's you,
Wyvern Stone
dude.
1000. Wyvern Stone. Starring your favorite character, Kogu, in his intrepid group of blonde-haired, blue-eyed victorious men. Oh, you're not wrong.
It's my favorite
These things
topic.
change.
I can't believe that was my favorite topic. It just went the complete opposite way, Mike. I was so stoked, and that doesn't happen often here, where we're so stoked about something, and literally we talk
Oh,
ourselves like, oh.
because we're so
Maybe we're
cynical and
wrong.
old and bitter. What's wrong with we're the trolls, Doug. We did this to ourselves, man. Because I could have been hyped, speculating on who this guy was and the future of Dragon Ball, and my little
Ah,
nerd heart fluttering. But no, I had to bum myself out and say he's a creative character, and it
yeah,
doesn't matter. You know what I
yeah.
mean? None of it matters, Doug. So we'll see. All we can do is see, man. Any final thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
No, a lot of content already out, a lot of stuff to do. So get out there, watch it. A bunch of horror movies have dropped. I know that much. I've seen a ton of
Yeah.
trailers. So just a bunch to catch up on, trying to figure out how to schedule it. So folks, go take advantage of it. And if you
So I
haven't
have to
seen Ghost
ask,
in the Shell, watch that.
did that storm really go crazy the way that they're saying it was going to go crazy?
Out east?
Yeah,
Yeah, out east, because I do some work
because
on the East Coast. Like some of those folks got like 18, 19 inches of snow, and
I Chihuahua.
tonight at 10 degrees is the first time it has been above zero here in eight
Yeah.
days at 9 o'clock at night. It is normally negative 15 right now. So, yeah, it's been a rough 7, 8 days, man. Luckily, we don't have any snow here. It just got cold, and we're moving up into the 20s this weekend. So, full on heat wave. I went outside. I
When is
shit you
this heat
not,
wave?
it was 0 degrees outside, and I'm like, oh, this feels like a mild heat wave.
Am I
That's how
sweating?
bad like it wasn't like Tuesday. Like I was like, how can 0 literally be? I'm taking off my gloves and hat, like I'm a little warm, huh?
Hey, let's head to the pier.
Dude,
You know, I want a glass. I want a cup of ice cream, man.
gnarly.
But shout outs to all y'all going through that, man. Stay warm, stay nerdy. Watch the Pro Bowl if you care. My team's out, damn it. So I'm just here to have a good time and watch the trailers. With that, remember to like our content. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And remember to comment on your thoughts of this week's episode of Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast. Are you hyped for Ghost in the Shell? Are you hyped for Dragon Ball? Let us know. We want to know. With that, of course, Master of the Nerdiverse Mike G. He's the Master of the Nerdiverse Wash. We are the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast. And with that, I will say MOTN out. Take care, everybody.